The White House laid out extensive AI guidelines for the federal government. Google's Circle to Search feature will soon handle language translation. And Oregon's Right to Repair bill is now a law. It's Thursday, March 28th, and this is Engadget News. It's been 5 months since President Joe Biden signed an executive order to address the rapid advancements in artificial intelligence. The White House took another step forward in implementing an executive order with a policy that aims to regulate the federal government's use of AI. Safeguards that the agencies must have in place include, among other things, ways to mitigate the risk of algorithmic bias. There are 3 binding requirements under a new Office of Management and Budget Policy. First, agencies will need to ensure that any AI tools they use do not endanger the rights and safety of the American people. They have until December 1st to make sure they have in place concrete safeguards to make sure that AI systems they're employing do not impact Americans' safety or rights. Otherwise, the agency will have to stop using an AI product unless its leaders can justify that scrapping the system would have an unacceptable impact on critical operations. Second, agencies will be mandated to be transparent about the AI systems they're using. As part of this effort, agencies will need to publish government-owned AI code, models, and data, as long as doing so would not harm the public or government operations. If an agency cannot disclose specific AI use cases for sensitivity reasons, they'll still have to report metrics. Last, federal agencies will need to have internal oversight of their AI use. That includes each department appointing a chief AI officer to oversee all of an agency's use of artificial intelligence. Many agencies will also need to have AI governance boards in place by May 27th. Now, there's a lot more to this article, and you can read the full article at Engadget.com. I've put a link in the show notes to make it easier to access. Google just announced that it's expanding its recently launched Circle to Search tool to include language translation as part of an update to various core services. Circle to Search, as the name suggests, already lets some Android users research stuff by drawing a circle around an object. The forthcoming language translation component won't even require a drawn circle. Google says people will just have to long press the home button or the navigation bar and look for the translate icon. It will do the rest. The company showed the tech quickly translating an entire menu with one long press. Google Translate can already do this, though in a slightly different way, but this update means users won't have to pop out of one app and into another just to check on something. The translation tool begins rolling out in the coming weeks, though only to Android devices that can run Circle to Search. This list currently includes Pixel 7 devices, Pixel 8 devices, and the Samsung Galaxy S24 series, though Google says it's coming to more phones and tablets later this week, including some foldables. Google Maps is also getting a refresh with an emphasis on AI. When you pull up a place on maps like a restaurant, artificial intelligence will display a summary that describes unique points of interest and what people love about the business. The AI will also analyze photos of food and identify what the dish is called, in addition to the cost and whether it's vegetarian or vegan. The company hopes this will make it easier to make reservations and book trips. On the non-AI side of things, Maps is getting an updated lists feature in select cities throughout the U.S. and Canada. This will aggregate lists of must-visit destinations pulled from members of the community and local publishers. There will be tools to customize these lists as you see fit. These will be joined by a list created by Google and its algorithm, including a weekly trending list to discover the latest hotspots and something called Gems that chronicles under-the-radar spots. All of these Maps updates are coming to both Android and iOS devices later this month. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has signed the state's Right to Repair bill into law. And it even comes with a provision that potentially makes it stronger than California's and Minnesota's versions. It's the first to prohibit a practice called parts pairing, which requires the use of certain proprietary components for repair. Parts pairing prevents third-party repair services from replacing a broken component with one that did not come from the brand itself, because it wouldn't work with the company's software. People would usually get error messages if they try to install an unauthorized part, forcing them to buy from the company itself. Under the new rules, preventing an independent provider from installing off-brand parts is prohibited, as is reducing the performance of a device that had been fixed with an unauthorized component. Even those error messages and warnings are not allowed. The ban on parts pairing doesn't cover devices that are already out, though, and will only be applicable for anything manufactured after January 1st, 2025. While manufacturers like Apple seem to have changed their tune in recent years and now generally support the right to repair movement, Oregon's parts pairing provision was still a point of contention. Apple senior manager John Perry told lawmakers that his company agrees with the vast majority of Senate Bill 1596. However, the company is worried about the security implications of allowing the use of unauthorized parts, such as biometric sensors, for replacement. Regardless, the ban on parts pairing is now a rule under Oregon's law, along with making compatible parts available to device owners through the company or authorized service providers for favorable prices and without any substantial conditions. Companies are also required to make documentation on how to fix their devices, as well as any special tools needed to repair them available to repair shops. These rules will apply to all phones sold after July 1st, 2021, and to other consumer electronic devices sold after July 1st, 2015. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and additional articles at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism by contributors Chris Holt, Lawrence Bonk, and Mariella Moon, and was produced by Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.